Hi, my name's Paul Grogan and welcome to another Gaming Rules Review. In this video I'm going to be covering what I think about Star Wars Outer Rim, published by Fantasy Flight Games in 2019. Thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters that helped make these reviews possible, and you voted on this game as one of the games that I would review in this month. So this is for you, and thank you very much for your support. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please consider supporting me over at patreon.com/gaming rules. So, on with the review. Now, first of all, this game's got dice in it, and it's by Fantasy Flight Games. Why am I going to like this game? Is it just because it's Star Wars? Well, I'm a big believer that if you put an IP on a game, quite often I play the game and I go, okay, I didn't feel that the theme actually came through. In this game, I feel that the Star Wars theme really comes through. And this is speaking as a Eurogamer that is constantly talking about how theme isn't important in games. And like the last 10 reviews I've done, I've said that the game has no theme, but I really like the game. This game has a whole load of theme in it because of the Star Wars universe. They've done an absolutely amazing job with all of the abilities of all of the characters, the jobs, the way that everything works. It's extremely thematically tied to what's going on. I've played this game a few times now and I've just finished a solo game. If you want to see my solo playthrough, I have literally just finished filming it, so that's on the channel as well. But yeah, I really felt that I was in the Star Wars universe. As your reputation changed with the different factions, you're doing jobs, you're getting bounties, you're picking up cargo, you're doing a whole host of different things. And that's one thing that I like about this game. It is a little bit of a sandbox style game. There's various things that you can do. And you don't get forced into doing a certain thing. There's obviously certain characters that are better at certain things than others. So if you are Lando, you're going to be better at smuggling cargo. You might want to do more of that. The way that the cards come out in the market, you have an ability to cycle through them. So, and there are patrols that you can go out and fight. You can pick up bounties. There's a whole host of different things that you can do in order to get the fame that you need to win the game. But I felt that you have a reasonable amount of control of what you do. You're not just, oh, I've drawn this card, so that's what I'm going to do. You could choose, if you get a job, that later on in the game you go, I'll tell you what, I don't really want to do this job anymore. Or that job isn't going to help me to what I'm actually trying to do with the other ones. And you can switch things out. So even though one of the main mechanisms in this game is dice for resolution, it isn't the only mechanism in this game. And the dice for the resolution is just one of those things that you've got to accept. But I'm happy to accept that in a game if the game is a lot of fun to play and does everything really well. And in this game, it does. I just love playing this game. It's just so good. Now, one of the reasons I love playing the game, as I've mentioned, is the theme works really well. But the second thing is, it's just, there's so much going on, yet the player turns, once you know the game, are actually fairly quick. Basically, on your turn, you first of all do a planning step where you can either stay where you are and heal, get 2,000 credits, or move. And that's it. And when it's not your turn, you kind of already have in mind where you want to move to, because you might have cargo. Cargo will need to be delivered to a certain place, so you know where you're going. Or you might have a job that takes you to a certain place. Or you might have a bounty on a certain person, and that certain person might already be on the board, so you kind of know where you're going to need to go. So you can plan a little bit ahead before it's your turn. Then in the action step, you can do a whole host of things, but basically if you're on a planet, you can buy something from the market. This bit I really like. There are 6 decks of cards. The top card is always visible. Before you buy a card, you can say, I'll tell you what, I'm going to cycle this one to the bottom of the deck. So you just get rid of it, put it to the bottom of the deck, and then you can buy a card if you want to. The game has bartering in it. So if you buy something, for example, I've got this smuggling compartment, which is valued at, 2,000 credits. When I'm buying something else, I can say, tell you what, do you want to swap your thing that cost you 10,000 credits? I'll tell you what, I'll throw this in for 2,000 credits. So the bartering is in there as part of the game. It means you can buy something and then later on think, I'll tell you what, I didn't really want this. I'll just trade it up for a higher thing. Really like that. So you get to do the market action basically in your action step. And there's a couple of other things you can do there as well. That's where you deliver cargo. And then in your encounter step, you get to do one thing. And you can either encounter one of the contacts, which is on the planet, and they're face down, or you can fight a patrol if it's in your space, or you can choose to have an encounter card. And the encounter cards are all, obviously it's random which one you get, but different things appear on different planets. So you do seem to have a lot of choice. Now, player interaction in this game. I'm a Eurogamer. I don't go for player interaction highly in games. because I just don't like the idea that I'm playing a game and another player just comes up to me and blows me up for no reason whatsoever, and just hurts my game just because it was fun. This game has for me, at the moment, the perfect level of player interaction, and it does player interaction in a way that I've never seen before. You cannot, in this game, just go up to another player and start blowing up their ship. You're not allowed to, unless you have a specific job that allows you to do it. So, for example, in the last solo game I played, I got this job of Wanted, and basically I was supposed to hunt down another player and attack them. I could only do that if I had this card. And that's really nice. Now, the other thing I love about this game is the way that the bounties work. This is very, very clever, really thematic. I like it. So you get a card, which is a bounty, to go and find a particular person. Now, the person will be one of these contact tokens on the board. They may have already been found, because other players will be turning over these contact tokens, finding them for you. So you might have to go hunting for them yourself, or they might already be in the game. It could be that they have already been found by another player, and that player has them as a crew member on their ship. Okay, so this is Ponda Baba. Okay, he's now a crew member on Han Solo's ship. I might draw a bounty card that is a bounty on that person. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because first of all, players can trade. If two players are on the same space, they can trade. So I can have a word with Han Solo and say, there's a bounty on that guy. Do you want to give him up? And he might say, yeah, sure, I'll swap it you for your smuggling compartment, or I'll sell it you for like 5,000 credits. And you can actually transfer credits to each other even when you're not on the same space. So it's like, well, yeah, if you transfer 5,000 credits to me now, you come to me and you can have him. And that's not a binding deal. It's awesome. There's so much goes on, and it fits the thematic flavour of the game really well. Now, let's say Han Solo said, no, I want this as a member of my crew. Then what I can do is I can go to Han Solo's space and I can say, look, give him over. He then has a choice. He can either put up a fight or not. If he puts up a fight, we have a ship combat. And if I win the ship combat, I then board the ship and then I can have a fight with this guy. Yeah, it's just really good. And that's happened to me in one game where I had a bounty that was actually a crew member on somebody else's ship. And that level of player interaction is really good. So yeah, you can have players trading stuff, exchanging credits. I mentioned there's a whole load of different things you can do. Components wise, normal Fantasy Flight games, good quality components. I have sleeved the cards just because you're going to be shuffling these a lot. Yeah, I mean the ships in the game are really cool as well. I'll just quickly mention the ships. While talking about components, they're all really good apart from these ships. It would have been nicer if these ships were actual card, like the player boards. The player boards are like this dual layer player board, which is nice. So you've got your little reputation tokens that slide up and down in here. But it would have been nice if these ships were card as well. Everything else is card tokens, which is all the usual good quality stock. The cards are good quality stock as well. But yeah, the ship cards, it'd have been nice if these were card. Anyway, onto the ships. These are cool. You start off with a really basic ship. You can buy other ships during the game. For example, if you have 20,000 credits and this ship comes up in the market, you can buy the modified YT 1300 light freighter. Now, each ship has a goal on it, and the goal of this freighter is if you have either 2 mods or 1 mod and Chewbacca as the crew, you basically upgrade the ship. Again, very thematic. If it has Chewbacca and 1 mod, it upgrades and becomes the Millennium Falcon, and then has a special ability. You can get Slave 1, and you can get all of these other ships. It's just really cool. Every character, and there's 8 characters in the game, every character has a personal goal. Once you do that personal goal, you upgrade your character, you get a fame, and you flip the card over. It's all about getting the fame. There's lots of ways of doing it. In the last game I played, I got Mandalorian armor. That was really cool. Not only does it give me loads of health, but it means whenever I'm doing a bounty, I can choose to forego the financial, the credit reward for that bounty, and instead get an extra fame. Extremely thematic. Everything in the game, they've done a really good job of tying the theme in. The other stack of cards are the data bank cards. I haven't sleeved these because you don't really shuffle them. Basically, everything, it will tell you during the game when to get one of these cards. So for example, if you go to this planet here and you find, who's this guy? I can't see because I haven't got my glasses on. Put my glasses on, Paul. It is Hondo Ohnaka, right, and it's card number 14. So then what you do is you get card number 14 from here, There we go. And you read it, and it's got a whole load of stuff on there. Basically, it allows you, and a lot of these cards have lots of story text on and things like that, all the jobs. There's loads of stuff in here that you couldn't have on cards. This is a really nice method. Why they didn't do an app for this, I'm not sure. Because this would have been quite nice with a little app that sits there, and you go, oh, it's card number 14. Card number 14 in the app, and it basically tells you this. They might do that at some point. I don't mind the cards, but it just, you know, FFG are going the way of using apps, and it would have been quite nice to have an app for that. Have I blabbed on enough about this game? I played it solo just earlier on. If you want to see that video, as I mentioned, there'll be a link to it in the show notes. I found the AI game quite good. It was enjoyable. I've played the game at 3 and 4 players. Have I played it at 4? No, I haven't played it at 4. The game will go on a little bit long, and a few people have said it is a little bit long 4-player game, although other people have said they can get a 4-player game done in 2 hours. We played a 3-player game learning from the rulebook in about 3 hours, and that would have been 2 if we did it again. There is a bit of AP in this game if you play with slow players, but as I say, once you've played the game once or twice, it does flow quite quickly. You can plan a lot of your move ahead in advance. I don't mind the dice rolling in this game because the rest of the game makes up for it. One thing I will mention is jobs. I love the way that the jobs are done in this game. So I'm going to put a picture on screen now of a job that let's find one here. Right, so I've got a job card. I'll put it on screen now. This is the casino heist, and you can see where the job is. It's Cantonica, or Cantonica, whatever. And when you do it, you resolve card 42. Now, card 42 will be a card. I won't show it on screen for spoilers, but it'll have loads of text on it, and it'll tell you to do a series of things. It's like a little story. And you can see below the job card, it says influence, tech, and strength. They are the skills that you are going to need during that little resolution of the story. And influence is in italics, which means you really need it. What that means is if you fail that influence test, you're very likely to fail the job. The other tests, the tech and the strength, even if you fail that test, you'll probably take a bit of damage or there'll be some negative effect, but it's not going to cause you to fail the job. So I love the way that the job cards tell you, here are the skills that you're going to need. And by the way, this one you're really going to need. And if you don't have this skill, I wouldn't even bother trying to do the job. You pick up those skills by getting different crew members on your ship. So you have to plan it. And some jobs, like the Kessel Run, is really hard to do, but the rewards are amazing. But if that's a job that you've got, you need to build up your crew so that you've got the right skills in order to do the job. And this is where the player interaction comes in again. If you need a particular skill like influence, and another player has a droid on their ship which has the influence skill, you can say, I'll tell you what, can I buy that crew member off you, or would you like to trade it? I really need that crew member. I will give you my Mandalorian armor if you give me W1LE. And you have players doing that kind of trading in the game. And if they go, yeah, sure, you give them that, you get W1E, you've now got the influence. It isn't a case of you've just got to fly around and randomly find the right crew to get the right skills to do the job. If you're playing this game as a multiplayer game, the other players are going to have probably those crew members with those skills that you need. And that's where the trading part of the game comes in. You could play a whole game without any trading, but it is in there. It is in there as part of the game. How many other things about this game I like? Little things. The money tokens. These are 1s, these are 5s, these are 10s. You know, my thoughts on money tokens should be a different size and colour for the. It's just nice. It's just different. I like them. So much about this game that I like. I want to play it again right away, but I've got other things to do today. Anyway, if I've forgotten anything, because I'm quite excited, as you might have guessed, I'm going to put it in the show notes below. But I think that's pretty much everything. Very much recommend this game. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably going to love it. If you're a Eurogamer like me, you might not like the dice. You might not like the player interaction that I've mentioned. But I personally really like it. And that's everything. That is my review of Star Wars Outer Rim. Thank you very much again to all of my Patreon supporters for making this possible. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. And please consider supporting me over at patreon.com/gaming rules. Until next time, take care and thanks for watching. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.